Hello there, you're watching Backcap Episode 2, sponsored by Comp.tf, and it's the 15th of November. Coming up in this video, we've got tournament matches from ESEA and ETF2L, TSU versus Meat Market, LEGO v Full Tilt, Reason v TLR, TLR versus Danger Dogs, Full Tilt v TF2 Center, and LEGO versus Serpents. And then some news. luuunch has released the new version of their website, the Oz Fortress Spring Series is underway, Masters of Classes by TF2 Stadium, and TF2 Center sponsor Mike and Numlock's team after they dropped the Epsilon name. Finally, finishing off with some juicy drama surrounding the TF2 tournament at DreamHack Winter happening this month, and some more hints about matchmaking in the recent TF2 updates. Highlights this week feature Viaduct in ESEA, whilst in ETF2L they were playing Sunshine, Granary and Badlands. In ESEA's final week, we've had only one highlight due to a spate of forfeit wins at the end of the season. So let's take a look at Team Solo Uber take on Meat Market.
They forced them early. TSU has been forced super early. Saylat needs to milk. She's milking. Oh wait, did she drop again?
No. She had already. She used
so
and died right when the Uber faded. But now look, Slamber's coming in from behind on Nick. Oh man, he really didn't know where Nick was. Yeah, Nick was so close to the wall that it just kind of tripped him up in his jump. Yep, and now we can see Sizer spawning up on Sniper. They know they have to make a play on Saylat, try to get this Uber advantage back in the hands of... there it is. Sizer with a headshot.
Although it went right down to the wire, TSU wins 4-2 on Viaduct over Meat Market with some clutch decision making in the final moments of those rounds, and some phenomenal play from Block, Sizer and Alec. We'll take a look at the final standings in the regular season just after these ETF2L highlights. It was a hectic few days for ETF2L, as there were 2 matches from Week 6 delayed and 3 from Week 7 to be played. Let's take a look at the first catch-up game, Full Tilt against LEGO.
Taken down Thalish in trade, but Full Tilt are right onto Dr. Phil right now. Half of his health gone, most of his health gone. He's trying to get to the health back, he gets there in time. Rest of Full Tilt are trying to come in right now, but only Spud is the one really in. The rest of LEGO have just wrapped around them, and they're going to cap second. They're going to keep on running, eyes on all the way to last, and there's no one here to meet him. Is this going to be the first point to LEGO? It is! EU Gimmicks, oh my god.
That mid, and that equals to one big mid cap and one easy second defense to hopefully crush as Condom has been brought down. The big drop by Condom, and now they've got absolutely nothing to defend the second point. They don't even have to use this Uber to cap out the second, and it's almost all said and done for LEGO.
Sunshine was a very back and forth map between the two teams, but Full Tilt were able to make the most of it, leading 2-0 until a drop from Cost sees them lose a round and have to defend in the final moments to keep it at 2-1. The final score was 2-1 to Full Tilt. On Granary, LEGO looked to be coming back, taking the first round to a Backcap, but slowly lost traction in the game, losing 6-3 overall. Coming up next is the second catch-up game, Reason against TLR.
Ooh, the wooden dock. Nico's also hiding in drop down as well, and potentially could turn things around here. He is going to get the frag onto Starkey.
Stark was waiting for him as well. Nico just wins the 1v1 anyway, and then taunts. And then kills Captain.
The self-damage plus bait shot, that is... Oh, Nico spams wrecked in chat as well. He is going for the mind games. Gets the force onto Permzilla as well. And Reason feel like their best decision here is to push, but there's actually 2 scouts behind. Nico is going to kill Happy. Wow! Nico and Kyler.
AMS is getting the high ground. They're still trying to make it work, but Zebasai's going to deny AMS. War, yes, in, but he gets airshot as well. War does get the kill, but he kills himself in the process.
What? Was that just like a blind pre-fire?
Reason grind out a 3-0 victory over TLR on Sunshine without ever losing control. TLR replies in the first round of Granary with a brilliant play from Nico as the Reason team loses focus and goes down initially. They compose themselves in the next 20 minutes though and push TLR out of the picture, comfortably winning 4-2. The next highlight is our first Week 7 game, sticking with TLR, this time against Danger Dogs.
Uber and Crits is picked up by Nursey here. They're going to try and get something going. However, all of Dogs aren't going to wait for that to happen. They're going to take their Uber and they're going to take it to Valley. All of them jumping in. They've used onto TLR right now. Oh my god, 3 going down very quickly from the Scouts and Soldiers there. Pretty great. He's lower right. What am I talking about? I know where he's at. We've just been talking about it this whole time. He's actually just gonna run in right now, jump onto the enemy team, and actually get Honey Badger! Oh my god! The rest of TLR gonna...
A messy 2 maps as TLR completely lost sight of their playoff goal, but Dogs continue to battle to escape relegation. An off-classing TLR roster with 2 mercs does win the first map Granary 4-2, but cannot hold out on Badlands as Danger Dogs win 5-3. Coming up next is a preview of the ETF2L semi-final Full Tilt versus TF2 Center.
Control. I wonder if they'll make the push. What with Numlock down, Flippy is also down as well, and here comes the push. Salentes just making some slight room for his team, not dedicating though, gets a 3-yard for his efforts, and let's see if they can bite off just a little bit more of this TF2 sandwich, Max.
Yeah, Spud trying to get the damage rolling right now, just spamming it onto the second point. Full Tilt, TF2 Center pretty forward on this point. Numlock calls that they're rotating to Lunchbox. It's a really valuable information right now. Let's see how TF2 Center deal with it. At least I think he did. He definitely saw it. Michael Adams here getting jumped by Salentes, going to back away. So what a scary man he is. Both Ubers are in play right now, so I wonder how Full Tilt will approach jumping in this top area. They finally use it, and the Ubers are going to be traded. Numlock going really low. Nice flash from Bull there, although because of that, the solo is going to favor Full Tilt. They're chasing in really deep. Salentes, nice pick onto Tech there, who's trying to back out. And I think that Full Tilt should pretty much have this middle. Although there is the flank from Mike and Flippy right now, managing to take down Spud and cost Salentes as well. Oh my god, as well as Sideshow. What a beautiful play. Full wipe for Full Tilt. TF2 Center just showing you how it's done. There is only 2 remaining for TF2 Center, so Full Tilt are just going to untilt, push forward, and try and kill them. But Mikey A and Bull are actually going to try and back up to Greybridge. Asked there to meet him. 3 shots. Can he get the 4th? No! Bull surviving. Michael Adams with a clutch.
Player 2 has entered the game. Flash is going for Bull instead. Oh, nobody can quite hit the French medic.
Granary featured some incredible performances from Mike and Tech, combining together to push Full Tilt out of their comfort zone and hold a hotly contested 3-1 victory. On Badlands, Full Tilt quickly went up by 2 rounds before TF2 Center found that key on mid-fights and replied to tie the game up. Rounds were then flying backwards and forwards, but with 1 minute left, Full Tilt failed to convert a last push after a great backstab from Stefan onto Spud and end up losing 4-3. Coming up next, our final match highlight, it's Lego vs Serpents.
Wins that reset. Gonna have to check out the Kenzie cam. He's already rushing into main here. He's playing sniper, looking for the angle. He sees them.
Oh my god!
Yes,
that body shot.
Somehow finds the medic just peeking out from behind the demo man there. He's gonna get the pick onto eyes on more body shot.
Oh my god! The triple body shot, kill streak. And Forsaken takes down Demul there with some nice rockets, and GDK is going to go onto the point, sticking himself off, hits a nice pipe and gets 2 more sticky kills there. Just walks onto the point there. Okay, and now they're just going to barrel in through main. 15 seconds. Lego could lose this.
Kenzie sniper, he's looking top left again. He wants that med pick. Gonna get another body shot on the condom. Headshots to heavy, twice back-to-back headshots.
Oh my god.
George goes down as well. Dr. Phil!
Oh my god.
Hold on just enough seconds there for us to get that golden cap we've been dreaming on. The main 30 minutes ends 3-3.
Oh, he's actually behind the drop down. He's gonna take down Dr. Phil, so that's a good play, and the bull gets taken down as well. -2.
What? Stand on
the point!
GDK! That had to be GDK's responsibility. I mean.
Despite 75% of the punters placing their bets on Lego to win 2 clear maps, Granary is an absolutely crushing victory for Serpents thanks to some great soldier play. They take that map 5-1, and Lego look at risk of losing their 4th place ETF2L spot. Badlands though is much more fiercely contested as both teams are neck and neck right up to the final moment. 3-3 is the score in regular time, and the golden cap afterwards goes the way of Lego. Let's take a look at who finished where in ESEA. Ascent, Froyotech, TSU and Woodpig go into the playoffs from 1st to 4th respectively, as Ascent nudges out Froyotech based on rounds for and against. Froyotech's only loss this season was on Metalworks to Ascent, but they did pick up a forfeit loss earlier in the season to Get a Whale Fan Club. Ascent lost 1 map to Froyotech along with 1 to TSU. Also interesting to note is that TSU goes into the playoffs with a 4-match win streak, whilst Woodpig barely scraped into 4th with a 3-match losing streak. The playoff games for ESEA will be happening next week with Ascent Woodpig on the 18th to kick us off. Meanwhile, in ETF2L, Reason Gaming stand at the top of the pile with a single map loss to TF2 Center on Sunshine. TF2 Center do hold on to that second place spot, even though they couldn't secure any points on Process in the regular season and were taken to Golden Cap by LEGO. Full Tilt finish ahead of the rest of the pack to secure themselves a spot in 3rd, but they have yet to take a map against either of the other 2 teams they will be facing. That's all of the highlights this week. Up next, we're going to have a look at some of the news. So luuunch has released a new version of its website featuring instant verification of games, allowing you to withdraw your winnings much more quickly. The site is now owned by the same team who run sweepstakes.tf, another popular TF2 betting website. A large amount of competitive games are available to bet TF2 items on, but please do bet responsibly. The OzFortress Spring Series is underway today, a single elimination 16-team tournament for Australian TF2 teams. The tournament is run through the Razor Arena system, which has slowly been adding more tournaments for all the TF2 scenes. TF2 Stadium, a new lobby website being built for TF2, ran a series of TF2 masterclasses aimed at teaching players a vast array of topics. While the sessions are now over, you can still catch the VODs and a lot of post-produced content on YouTube, which do amount to a fair amount of hours. Finally, the X-Epsilon roster led by Mike and Numlocked have decided to drop Epsilon as a sponsor and have been picked up by TF2 Center. This arrangement has facilitated their travel to DreamHack at the end of the month, where they will be competing against 3 other teams in an invitational tournament. They also replaced their previous medic Nox for Bool, who most of the members of their team are familiar with from playing for or against at I-55. That rounds up the news for this week. Let's take a look at some drama happening in the TF2 community lately. Players involved at the TF2 Invitational at DreamHack this month have leaked that Gravel Pit making an appearance in the map pool is being heavily considered at the very least by the admins of the tournament. It sparked wide controversy, with criticism landing on the admins for changing the map pool so close to the event, especially to a map which has not seen action for 3 years in the European scene. Players seem opposed to the change and the map in general, and confirmation of the map pool, schedule and rosters is expected to be announced within the next few days. There have been recent updates to TF2 which appear to contain information about the upcoming matchmaking update. Whilst the timing of the update is still completely unknown, some details are being unlocked by dedicated community members. Various files seem to contain names of ranks that will be used for matchmaking, along with a map rotation. Community members have expressed both interest and concern at this. 2-Fort, Turbine and Foundry in the map pool over Process seems like a questionable decision, but it is very early days and change is to be expected before the update hits. Thanks for watching Backcap episode 2. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments section below and subscribe for future episodes.